Okay, so if you're involved in digital marketing or frankly just paying attention to the business world, you know the feeling. You're probably swamped by all the talk around generative AI.
Oh, absolutely. It's everywhere.
Exactly. And well, it's tough sometimes to sort out what's a real game changer versus, just the latest buzzword or even figure out what you're supposed to do about it all.
Right. What's actually actionable?
Precisely. So if that feels familiar, you're definitely in the right spot today. We're going to try and cut through some of that noise. We're focusing specifically on generative AI, Gen AI, and its, well, truly transformative impact on digital marketing.
Yeah, transformative is the right word.
We want to get past the hype, the sort of vague promises, and really dig into what this means for marketers, for brands, and honestly for you, the consumer, who's navigating this whole changing landscape. We've got this comprehensive strategic analysis report here. It's packed with data, insights, and our job today is basically to distill it for you. Okay, let's unpack this.
And, what's really fascinating here, I think, is that we're not just discussing like another tool you add to your marketing software stack.
Right, it's not just an upgrade.
No, exactly. It's not just tweaking things. We're really looking at a fundamental reshaping of how marketing actually works.
Yeah.
From the ground up. Think content creation, customer engagement, even how we find information online, search itself. So our goal in this deep dive is really to give you those actionable insights, help you navigate this shift, figure out what's real opportunity versus just, speculation, and really understand the competitive field that's taking shape, like right now. We'll be pulling directly from this detailed analysis, so everything's grounded in solid research and numbers, not just ideas.
That's a really important distinction. So, okay, let's start right there. What is generative AI in this marketing context? Because, like you said, it's obviously way more than just a chatbot.
Precisely. Yeah, it's much broader. Generative AI fundamentally is a class of AI models that have this pretty remarkable ability to create new original content.
New content, not just analyzing existing stuff.
Exactly. That's the key difference from, let's say, traditional AI, which is usually focused on analyzing data that already exists, finding patterns, or maybe automating simple rule-based tasks. GenAI, on the other hand, it dynamically produces unique outputs, things that often look like human creativity, text, images, even video, audio, code.
Wow.
In marketing, this translates into this incredible power to automate making content at scale, to personalize interactions with customers really precisely, and even innovate on strategy in ways we're, frankly, just starting to explore. And the technical horsepower behind this, it often comes from a mix of advanced machine learning models. Primarily, you hear about large language models, or LLMs.
Right, like ChatGPT.
Exactly. Those are the engines. They're trained on just massive amounts of text and data, billions, trillions of words, images, you name it. That lets them understand context, nuance, different styles. But for marketing, there's this really critical enhancement that boosts their usefulness. It's called retrieval augmented generation, or RAG.
RAG.
Yeah, RA essentially lets these LLMs reach out and grab real-time information from external, highly authoritative sources.
So not just its training data, but live info.
Exactly. Imagine it pulling not just from its memory, but also checking, say, the top-ranking Google search results for a topic right now, or your company's internal knowledge base as it's generating an answer or piece of content. This is absolutely vital for marketing. It ensures the output isn't just, creative or grammatically okay, but also current, factually accurate, and relevant to what's happening now. Market trends, product details, customer questions.
Ah, I see. That makes a huge difference.
It really does. It separates a kind of generic AI response from one that's truly informed, precise, and genuinely useful for a brand.
So, okay, if I'm following, you combine that power to create totally new stuff with the ability to pull in current, trustworthy information. You can suddenly picture having, I don't know, like an army of creative assistants and researchers working 24/7.
That's a good way to put it.
Producing personalized content, managing interactions at a scale that was just, well, science fiction a few years back. It's kind of mind-blowing.
It really is. The potential scale is enormous.
And clearly the market sees this potential too. The investment numbers are just staggering. Let's hit those right away because they really show the scale here, why marketers have to pay attention. So the global generative AI marketing market, it's projected to jump from roughly almost $63 billion in 2025.
Which is already huge.
Right, to over $356 billion by 2030. That's a compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of over 41.5%.
41% growth year over year. Incredible.
These aren't just small budget tweaks. This is a massive shift in spending and strategic focus
Right.
globally.
And if you zoom out even further, look at GenAI spending across all industries, the numbers are even bigger. Global spending is expected to reach something like $644 billion in 2025 alone.
Wow, $644 billion.
And that's a jump of nearly 77% just from 2024. So this isn't investment just for tech's sake. It's driven by really clear business goals. There was a big Gartner poll, over 2,500 execs. They asked why they're investing in GenAI. The top reason, enhancing customer experience and retention. That was 38%.
Okay, so customer focus is number one.
Right. Followed closely by direct revenue growth. That was 26%. And then cost optimization at 17%. And another survey, this one from Forrester, just in May 2024, found 67%, two-thirds of AI decision makers are planning to increase their GenAI spending in the next year.
So the momentum is still building.
Absolutely. It paints this really clear picture. A market growing incredibly fast, fueled by real, measurable results in customer relationships, efficiency, and, the bottom line. Here's where it gets really interesting.
It certainly sounds like it's taking off. So you look at the surface level stats, and it seems like everyone's already on board, right? You see numbers like, 88% of digital marketers using AI tools daily. 71% of social marketers have integrated it.
Yeah, those numbers are out there.
Even B2B buyers, 89% are supposedly using GenAI in how they research purchases. It sounds like it's everywhere.
It does sound like that, but that's exactly where this idea of an AI divide starts to show up. While, sure, individual marketers might be playing around with ChatGPT or Midjourney for images, if you look deeper at the strategic enterprise level, implementation is actually far from universal.
Ah, okay. So personal use versus company-wide strategy.
Precisely. That Gartner survey from 2024, it found over a quarter, 27% of marketing organizations reported limited or no GenAI adoption in their actual campaigns. Not just playing, but using it for real.
Yeah.
So it's not just about individuals experimenting. It's about whether it's truly embedded, integrated, transforming how the whole organization works. And adoption definitely varies by geography, market maturity too. But here's the really compelling part. The profile of the early adopters. These aren't just random companies. They tend to be the high-performing marketing organizations, the ones already leading in revenue, market share.
The leaders are leading in AI too. Makes sense.
Right. These leaders are 1.3 times more likely to beat their year-on-year profit growth targets. That's a big indicator. And their proactivity with GenAI, it's paying off. Early adopters are reporting an average ROI return on investment of 41%.
41% ROI. That almost sounds too good to be true for some.
It's a really significant number, far beyond just small gains. It points to a real strategic advantage.
Yet we know not everyone's getting that 41%. So what's the real roadblock for those companies stuck in what the report calls pilot purgatory? Why are so many falling behind?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it really gets to the heart of this AI divide. Many organizations are stuck in this pilot purgatory. They start experiments, maybe they're enthusiastic, but they just fizzle out. They don't scale, don't show sustained value.
Why not? What stops them?
The barriers they consistently mention are pretty major. First, the implementation costs can be prohibitively high. Second, there's a critical shortage of people actually trained in AI. Finding the talent is tough. And third, there are these persistent fears around data privacy and security. Understandable fears.
So cost, talent, and trust.
Exactly. And you hear from a lot of CMOs in this group, they're frustrated. They feel like their initial Gen AI investments just haven't paid off like they hoped. That makes them hesitant to commit more resources, naturally. But here's what's really insightful and maybe a bit counterintuitive. This isn't fundamentally a technology problem.
No.
That 41% ROI. It's not just built into the tech itself. It's a direct result of an organization's readiness, its maturity. The company's seeing those returns. They've already made the big upfront investments in the foundations.
Like what kind of foundation?
Robust data infrastructure, serious talent acquisition and upskilling programs, sorting out integration with older legacy systems. And maybe most importantly, ensuring they have high-quality, clean, accessible data. Those are the table stakes. Laggards often underestimate this. Their pilots fail not because the AI is bad, but because their structure, their data, maybe even their leadership's vision isn't ready.
It's like trying to put a rocket engine on a bicycle.
Exactly. You're layering transformative tech onto an outdated model. It leads to frustration, stalled projects, and that feeling of being left behind. And this is creating this polarized landscape fast. Early adopters get into this positive cycle. Success breeds more investment. Others get stuck in a negative one, failed experiments, falling further behind.
That clarifies it perfectly. It's less about buying the tech, more about being ready for it organizationally. And speaking of readiness, the whole conversation around GenAI is so full of, bold claims and slick demos. It definitely feels like it's hit that peak of inflated expectations on the Gartner hype cycle. You hear these narratives about robots stealing marketing jobs.
Oh yeah, the hype is deafening sometimes.
How do we separate the sort of widespread hype from the actual on-the-ground reality for marketers today?
That's a critical skill right now. The hype is huge, absolutely, fueled by amazing demos and, let's be honest, some pretty sensational headlines. But the reality for many successful organizations is more of a quiet revolution. They're applying AI in very practical, measurable ways right now.
Okay, so less robot takeover, more practical assistant.
Exactly. A better description is like a super quick assistant that boosts your decisions, not a futuristic replacement. Its current power really lies in automating the repetitive stuff, analyzing huge data sets faster than any human could, and providing really solid data-driven recommendations. While the potential for pure creative generation is massive and growing fast, the most immediate consistent value often comes from its analytical side.
And the data backs that up.
It does. Nearly half, 47% of marketing leaders using GenAI report significant benefits, specifically in campaign evaluation and reporting. That suggests its ability to process and summarize data, its analytical strength, is currently more widely impactful than its pure creative generation, although that's catching up quickly.
Interesting. So analysis first, then creative.
In many current use cases, yes. And this helps explain that 41% ROI paradox. We talked about why some get it, and many feel their investments aren't paying off yet. That high ROI isn't easy money. It's earned by organizations that made those big upfront investments we discussed. Cost, talent, system integration, and especially high-quality data. It's about readiness and strategic commitment, not just dabbling.
So what does this mean for, say, the average company just trying to get started now?
It means focus on your foundations first. Assess your data, your systems, your team skills. Build that readiness before you chase the shiniest new AI tool. Without that groundwork, the huge promise of GenAI can just turn into frustration and wasted money.
That makes total sense. And it leads us perfectly into the core applications.
Yeah.
If we look past the hype at the real impact, how is GenAI actually changing marketing execution day to day? Let's start with the most obvious one.
Content creation. It really does sound like it's turning marketing into a kind of high-volume content factory.
That's a very accurate way to put it. Content creation is definitely where the impact is most immediate and tangible for many. It has effectively given marketing departments the potential to become these high-volume content factories, churning out a huge variety of assets incredibly quickly and efficiently.
So starting with text, what are we seeing there?
Well, text generation tools are now routinely used for a whole range of things. Drafting long-form blog posts, tasks that used to take days, right?
Oh, yeah.
Generating sharp ad copy variations in seconds. Composing personalized email campaigns at scale, writing social media updates, creating unique product descriptions for e-commerce, even scripting videos. Platforms like Jasper, Copy.ai, WriteSonic, ChatGPT, these are becoming standard toolkit items for marketers. They basically kill that blank page problem. Writer's block solved by AI.
In many ways, yes, or at least the initial hurdle. It drastically speeds up the whole content lifecycle, from idea to first draft. And the business impact is pretty striking. We have real examples. Think about JP Chase. Huge company, massive marketing copy needs. They partnered with an AI platform called Persado. It wasn't just about speed, it was about scientifically optimizing the language for results.
And did it work?
Did it ever? The AI-written copy got significantly higher engagement. Some ad variations saw a 450% increase in click-through rates compared to the human-written versions.
450%. Wow.
That's not just tweaking, that's a fundamental shift. Or look at CarMax, the car retailer. They used GPT models to process over 100,000 customer reviews. They turned all that feedback into fresh, unique, SEO-friendly web content, a task that would have taken a huge team years manually, done in hours.
Hours. And the result?
A significant, immediate jump in their SEO traffic. Real, measurable impact. And GenAI's creativity goes way beyond text. Think visuals. AI models like Daily, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, they can create high-quality, on-brand images from just text prompts.
So custom illustrations, product shots, ad visuals, just by typing.
Pretty much. It gives marketers this endless supply of custom imagery, cutting down reliance on stock photos or long design cycles. And video, too. Platforms like Synthesia or VE are automating video production, creating animated videos using realistic AI avatars to deliver scripts in different languages, rapidly editing or localizing footage. It makes video scalable in a way it never was before.
Any cool brand examples using visual AI?
Absolutely. Heinz did that clever AI ketchup campaign they use daily to show that even an AI imagines Heinz when you say ketchup. Great branding reinforcement. Boosted their social engagement by 38%. BMW used GenAI for localized digital art and ad campaigns. They scaled one core creative idea across many markets with tailored visuals, saving costs, and getting campaigns out faster. And one of my favorites, Nutella. In Italy, they use a generative algorithm to create 7 million unique collectible labels for their jars.
7 million unique labels.
7 million unique designs. The Nutella Unica campaign. It turned a regular product into individual art pieces that completely sold out, and the brand engagement, the user-generated content, it was massive.
That really shows the scale and the creative potential now. It's amazing turning content into this automated factory. And speaking of scale, for years, decades maybe, marketers have chased that holy grail, true one-to-one engagement. Moving beyond just lumping customers into broad segments, is GenAI finally making hyper-personalization a reality?
Yes, I'd say it absolutely is, and in ways that really were just theoretical before. For so long, personalization meant maybe putting someone's first name in an email or showing ads based on broad demographics, maybe past purchases.
Right, pretty basic stuff.
GenAI enables true one-to-one engagement. How? By analyzing these vast amounts of individual customer data, behavior patterns, preferences, every interaction across every channel, and then using that deep analysis to generate uniquely tailored content recommendations offers for literally every single customer. It's not just dynamic, it's genuinely bespoke.
How does that work technically, like in practice?
Well, think about dynamic content orchestration, but supercharged. Instead of one email blast to a segment, AI platforms can now spin up thousands of email variations. Each one of the personalized subject line, different copy, different product recommendation, maybe adapting in real time based on what the user just did on your website or their location or an interest they just expressed.
Wow, real-time adaptation.
Exactly, and it goes beyond email.
Yeah.
Personalized landing pages, dynamically changing website content, tailoring mobile app experiences to exactly what that user needs right now. Modern AI marketing platforms are built to pull together customer data from everywhere, web, email, mobile, social, call centers, even in-store purchases to create that true 360-degree customer view.
So no more data silos.
That's the goal, to enable these adaptive customer journeys where personalization isn't just bolted on at the end, it's truly baked into the journey design from the start. And what's really exciting is what we call predictive personalization.
Predictive, so knowing what I want before I do.
Kind of. By analyzing historical data and finding complex patterns, AI models can now forecast future customer behavior with pretty good accuracy. Things like predicting who's likely to churn or who's likely to buy a certain product or might be interested in a new service.
That sounds incredibly powerful for marketers.
It is. It lets you move from being reactive to truly proactive. Offer a retention deal to someone before they leave. Suggest the right product at just the right moment. Anticipate needs, don't just respond to them.
Any big examples of this in action?
Sure. Starbucks is a great one with their Deep Brew AI engine. It powers their mobile app recommendations. It doesn't just look at your past orders. It considers your location, the time of day, even the local weather to suggest something relevant now. It feels really personal.
Like they know me.
Exactly. And of course, Amazon. Their whole empire is arguably built on their AI recommendation engine. It personalizes everything, homepage, product list, emails. That deep personalization is credited with driving something like over 35% of their total sales. It shows the massive commercial power of doing this right at scale.
That's just a massive impact on experience, on sales, on loyalty. Okay, so beyond content and hyper-personalization, how is GenAI changing the nuts and bolts of advertising? Making ads, managing campaigns?
It's fundamentally restructuring that whole workflow too, both by automating parts of the creative process and by providing much deeper, faster analytics. For instance, think about automated creative production. We talked about text and visuals. GenAI lets you create ad copy and images at massive scale. This allows for rapid A/B testing of literally thousands of variations. You can figure out scientifically, quickly, what headline, what image, what call to action works best for which audience.
So like dynamic creative optimization, DCO, but on steroids.
Exactly. It's an evolution of DCO, giving marketers more direct control and letting them iterate way faster. And beyond creating the ads, AI is increasingly the hidden engine behind modern programmatic advertising.
Like the ad buying platforms.
Right. Google Ads, Meta Ads. They use sophisticated AI models to automate buying ads, targeting audiences, optimizing placements in real time across huge networks. AI decides where your ad goes, who sees it, and when. And then, after the campaign runs, GenAI can chew through mountains of performance data. It finds hidden patterns, subtle connections a human analyst might miss, or take days to find.
Faster insights.
Much faster. And it can generate comprehensive reports with really clear, actionable insights. It shifts campaign analysis from being maybe subjective or slow to being rigorous, predictive, data-driven science. Even influencer marketing, which has often been pretty manual and guesswork-based.
Finding the right person, figuring out ROI.
Yeah.
Tricky.
Right. Now, AI platforms like Vista Social or Influencity are changing that. They use data to find influencers whose audience actually matches your target. They can predict campaign success before you spend a dime and measure the true impact much more accurately.
So moving from gut feel to data-driven partnerships.
Exactly. It brings optimization and data to a field that really needed it.
It really sounds like it's driving efficiency and optimization everywhere. But, okay, you mentioned search earlier, and this feels like where things get really interesting, possibly the biggest long-term disruption. You're talking about a shift from traditional SEO, search engine optimization, to something called GEO. Explain that for us.
Yes, this is potentially the most profound shift because it hits the very foundation of how brands get found online. Traditional SEO, as you know, is all about getting your website links to rank high in search results like Google.
Right. Get the click.
Exactly. Now that's evolving into a new practice, Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO. GEO is optimizing your content, your digital presence, specifically so it gets featured prominently and cited directly within the AI-generated answers on platforms like Google's AI Overviews or ChatGPT, Perplexity.
So not ranking the link, but being the source for the AI's answer.
Precisely. The goal shifts entirely. It's about directly influencing what the AI says in its composed response. And this is all driven by the tech behind these new AI search tools. They often use those RGRAG models we talked about, retrieval augmented generation.
Okay, pulling in real-time info.
Right. So when you ask a question, the AI doesn't just show links. It finds info from what it deems the most authoritative top-ranking pages, and then synthesizes it into one conversational answer. This means content that's structured clearly, shows deep expertise, and really nails Google's EEEP principles. Experience, expertise, authoritativeness across the content is much more likely to be picked by the AI as a source.
So EET becomes even more important.
Absolutely critical. And it means that strong traditional SEO is still the foundation for GEO. You need that high-quality, well-ranking content first, because that's what fuels the generative engines. If your content isn't visible or trusted in traditional search, the AI probably won't find it or use it.
Okay, so SEO feeds GEO. What tactics change for GEO?
You need a much bigger focus on long-tail keywords and natural language questions because that's how people talk to AIs. You need truly comprehensive coverage of topics, showing you're the definitive expert. And technically, things like page speed, mobile friendliness, clear structures, they remain vital so the AI can easily crawl, index, and understand your content.
This definitely sounds like more than just new tactics. It feels like it disrupts the whole digital marketing value chain, how people find info, the role of a website.
It absolutely does. The traditional SEO model is built on driving clicks to your website. That's where engagement, education, conversion usually happens. The whole funnel depends on traffic. GEO, however, tries to answer the user's question right there in the search interface.
No click needed.
Potentially, yes. If the AI gives a complete answer, it removes the need to go through multiple pages, as the source puts it.
Right.
And if there's no click, well, website traffic as your main KPI suddenly looks much less important. It forces a radical rethink of what success means.
Wow. Okay, so what does become important then?
It forces this massive strategic reevaluation. The value shifts. It's less about the experience on your website, the design, the buttons, the CRO, and much more about the quality and authority of the underlying data your website provides to the AI.
So the website becomes like a data source for the AI.
Exactly. Brands need to become these canonical, citable sources of truth, almost like an API, an application programming interface that AI engines can query directly for reliable, structured information. It elevates things like structured data, technical precision, EEAT, far above maybe aesthetics or traditional conversion tactics.
So the new goal isn't just attracting users, but becoming the trusted source that actually informs the AI's mind.
That's the fundamental shift, shaping the information landscape itself.
That's a huge pivot. Okay, we've mentioned that impressive 41% ROI for early adopters a few times. Let's get really specific now. How does that value actually show up? What are the tangible gains from GenAI for the bottom line?
Right, the business case is getting clearer and clearer, backed by solid numbers, and the value shows up in a few key ways. Direct financial returns, major operational efficiencies, and big improvements in customer engagement. So first, the hard ROI. We have that 41% average for early adopters. But looking more broadly, McKinsey estimates that top-performing companies attribute 20% or even more of their EBIT earnings before interest and taxes directly to AI initiatives.
20% of earnings from AI, that's substantial.
It really is. And McKinsey also projects GenAI could boost overall marketing and sales performance by 15–30%, adding something like $463 billion in annual value globally to those functions. These are game-changing numbers. Then you have the efficiency gains that drive those financials. The impact on productivity is just dramatic. We see case studies where content creation time is slashed by up to 99%, costs reduced by 30–50%.
99% time reduction, from days to minutes.
Literally. Imagine taking a process that took days and doing it in minutes or hours. This frees up so much resource. Some projections see 75% of staff work shifting away from repetitive production tasks towards more strategic work.
All those hours saved can go into planning, strategy, customer interaction.
Exactly. High-value work. And these efficiencies translate directly into better conversion and engagement. One study showed companies using AI in marketing saw a 23% lift in overall customer interaction ratios. Tactically, those AI personalized emails, they can get transaction rates 6 times higher than generic ones.
6 times.
And remember, JPMorgan Chase, up to 450% increase in click-through rates on some AI-written ads. A major bank even reported a 20–25% increase in new accounts after using a GenAI content assistant to improve their communications.
These aren't small bumps, they're exponential gains.
They really can be. But, and this is important, focusing only on cost savings or quick revenue misses the full picture. We need a more holistic way to measure the value.
Beyond just dollars and cents.
Right. A framework should include, yes, operational efficiency time saved, content volume up, agency spend down, but also customer experience, CX, measured by things like Net Promoter Score, NPS, customer satisfaction, CST, engagement levels, and especially reducing churn. Think about Netflix. Their AI recommendation engine reportedly saves them over $1 billion a year just by keeping subscribers from leaving. That's massive retention value.
Wow, $1 billion in saved churn.
And finally, the framework needs to measure innovation and competitive edge. How fast can you get new campaigns to market? How many new ideas can you generate and test? How quickly can you prototype new marketing approaches?
So efficiency, customer experience, and innovation.
It's that holistic view that captures the true strategic power. It's not just cutting costs, it's driving growth, loyalty, and a real competitive advantage.
And it sounds like achieving this isn't just about doing things faster, it's fundamentally changing how the work even gets done within marketing.
Precisely. It's not just acceleration, it's re-architecture. If you compare the old manual ways with the new AI-augmented workflows, the difference is profound. Speed, scale, data-driven precision.
Yeah.
It's a different world.
Can you walk us through some examples? Like content creation.
Sure. Content creation used to be manual drafting, long brainstorming sessions, maybe heavy reliance on agencies for visuals. Now, AI assists with ideas in seconds. It generates first drafts instantly, overcoming writer's block. It creates images or video clips on demand.
The impact.
Turnaround shrinks from days or weeks to minutes or hours. Costs drop. Content volume explodes, letting you target niches like never before.
What about market research?
That used to be slow manual analysis of surveys, basic social listening. Now, AI does real-time sentiment analysis on huge streams of unstructured data, social media, reviews, forums. It can even test messages using synthetic personas based on real data.
So faster insights, lower costs.
And better predictions. You can anticipate market shifts, not just react.
And campaign analysis, you touched on this.
Right. It shifts from being reactive and periodic, compiling spreadsheets after the campaign, to proactive and continuous. Manual data pulling is replaced by automated reporting, real-time insights. You can optimize campaigns while they're running.
So faster decisions, optimizing spend on the fly.
Exactly. From reactive to proactive.
Right.
And personalization, as we discuss, moving from those generic segment blasts and static pages
to true one-to-one dynamic content.
And real-time journey orchestration across every channel, every touch point tailored. The impact is huge. More engagement, higher conversion, better CX, more loyalty. These aren't just tweaks. They're foundational changes in how marketing operates.
These transformations clearly have massive implications for marketers themselves, for their roles. So let's tackle the big question head on, the fear about robots stealing jobs. Is Gen AI actually replacing marketers, or is something else happening?
That's the crucial question, and it causes a lot of anxiety,
Hmm.
understandably. But the strong consensus among analysts and people actually doing this work is clear. It's about augmentation, not replacement.
Augmentation, meaning working alongside AI.
Exactly. GenAI excels at automating the boring, repetitive stuff. Sorting data, writing first drafts, compiling reports, handling those large-scale tasks that eat up human time. This frees marketers up to focus on higher value work, the strategic stuff, the uniquely human stuff.
Do marketers see it that way?
Largely, yes. Surveys show around 71% of marketers expect GenAI will eliminate the busy work, letting them focus more on strategy. And remember that projection. Companies using AI heavily might shift 75% of staff activities away from production-heavy tasks toward strategic roles.
So the job changes rather than disappears.
Precisely. The skills needed are evolving rapidly. Less emphasis on manual content production, much more emphasis on creative direction, sophisticated prompt engineering.
Prompt engineering, that's telling the AI exactly what you need.
Right. Right. It's the art and science of communicating effectively with AI to get nuanced, high-quality results. And also rigorous ethical governance over what the AI produces. In this new world, those uniquely human soft skills become even more valuable. Strategic thinking, deep customer empathy, relationship building, true out-of-the-box creativity. Machines can't compete there.
So human creativity and strategy become premium skills.
Absolutely. But there's a major challenge here, the talent gap.
Finding people with these new skills.
Exactly. There's a widely acknowledged shortage of people with expertise in data science, machine learning, AI strategy. It's a big barrier to adoption for many companies. Traditional marketing education often hasn't caught up. The skills needed are interdisciplinary and still pretty rare.
So what's the solution?
Internal upskilling and a serious commitment to continuous learning. It's a strategic imperative now. Investing in training programs to build AI literacy across the whole team, understanding algorithms, prompt engineering, data interpretation, it's not a perk anymore. It's fundamental for survival and growth.
It's about empowering your existing people to work with the AI.
Empowering humans, not replacing them, giving them the tools and knowledge to thrive.
Definitely about empowerment. But, okay, while the potential is incredible, it can't all be easy. What are the real-world roadblocks, the challenges companies face when they try to actually implement Gen AI?
No, it's definitely not all smooth sailing. The opportunities are huge, but so are the implementation hurdles. These can be significant barriers, especially if you don't have the foundations right.
Like what kind of hurdles?
Well, first, just the economics. The cost can be a major deterrent, not just for smaller businesses, but even for large ones. It goes way beyond software licenses. You need serious investment in cloud computing power, massive data storage, and crucially, those specialized people to integrate, customize, maintain, and govern it all.
Hidden costs add up quickly.
They really do. It can be a high price of admission. Second, there's the challenge of integrating with legacy systems. Many established companies run on older, siloed IT systems that just weren't built for the kind of real-time data flow that AI needs for personalization or analytics.
Trying to connect old and new tech sounds complex.
It is. It's often highly complex, time-consuming, expensive. It can stall projects before they even get going. It's like putting that Formula One engine in a vintage car. The structure needs major work first.
Right. The foundation isn't ready.
And maybe most critical of all, data quality.
Yeah.
The garbage in, garbage out principle is absolutely king here, and AI is only as good as the data it learns from and uses. If your data is incomplete, inconsistent, biased, outdated, the AI's output will be flawed.
Leading to bad insights, weak personalization.
Exactly. Wasted money, potentially even brand damage. So robust data governance, meticulous data cleansing, these are non-negotiable. Before you dive deep into AI applications, you have to fix the foundation first.
So, assuming you overcome those significant implementation hurdles, what are the ongoing dangers? The risks to performance, and maybe more importantly, to your brand once Gen AI is running?
Right. Getting it running is one thing. Using it safely and effectively day to day brings a whole new set of risks you need to manage constantly.
Yeah.
Mostly around content quality, brand integrity, and just relying too much on the automation.
Okay, like what specifically?
Well, the most famous risk, especially with LLMs, is hallucinations.
Right, where the AI just makes stuff up.
Exactly. It generates information that's factually wrong, maybe nonsensical, maybe even offensive,
Yeah.
but it sounds plausible, confident even. Imagine an AI writing a product description with features you don't have, or an ad making a false historical claim if that gets published under your brand.
Ouch. Major credibility damage, loss stress.
Severe damage, PR crisis potential. This makes rigorous human supervision, careful review, thorough fact-checking absolutely essential. You cannot just hit generate and publish, period. Human in the loop is mandatory. Then there's maintaining your brand voice and quality. When you're churning out huge volumes of AI content, keeping it consistent, on-brand, and high quality is tough.
It could all start sounding generic, robotic.
Or just diluting your unique identity, making you sound like everyone else. To fight this, you need clear brand voice guidelines for the AI. You need smart prompt engineering. Maybe even train custom AI models on your past content so it learns your specific style and messaging.
So actively managing the AI's output for brand fit?
Constantly. And finally, there's the risk of over-reliance, leading to a loss of creativity in your team.
Like the team's creative muscles get weak.
That's a real danger. If you lean too heavily on AI for ideas and first drafts, your team might stop flexing their own creative thinking, their strategic insight. GenAI should augment human creativity, not replace it. Use AI for scale, speed, data processing. Use humans for the strategic leaps, the empathy, the emotional storytelling only they can do.
It's about safeguarding the brand's unique spark, its human element.
Absolutely. And its long-term relevance.
So bringing this all together, what does it mean for the really complex, high-stakes challenges the ethical gauntlet companies have to run with GenAI? These aren't just tech problems, they're about trust, responsibility.
You're absolutely right. The ethical dimension is arguably the most complex and carries the highest stakes. Getting this wrong isn't just bad PR, it can mean severe legal trouble, total loss of reputation, and breaking consumer trust, maybe permanently. It demands a proactive, principled approach to governance.
Where do the biggest ethical risks lie?
Data privacy and consumer trust is a huge one. GenAI is data hungry. It needs vast amounts of information, often personal data, for training and personalization. This puts a massive responsibility on marketers. People are rightly concerned about how their data is used. Just complying with GDPR or CCPA, that's the bare minimum now.
So what's best practice?
Data minimization: only collect what you truly need. Get explicit, informed consent, anonymize data whenever possible, and have rock-solid cybersecurity. Think about the backlash when platforms use user data for AI training without clear consent. That's a fast way to lose trust.
Okay, privacy is huge. What else?
Algorithmic bias. This is insidious. AI models learn from historical data, and that data often reflects existing societal biases, racial, gender, economic.
So the AI learns the biases.
Unintentionally, yes, and then it can amplify them. In marketing, this might look like discriminatory ad targeting, biased pricing algorithms, or AI-generated content that perpetuates harmful stereotypes. There was that example with Sephora Italy using ChatGPT. When asked about violence from a victim's view based on online opinions, it generated victim-blaming content. Shows how easily AI can absorb and spread societal problems.
How do you fight that bias?
Constant vigilance. Regular bias audits using tools like IBM's AI Fairness 360, using diverse representative training data, and crucially, human oversight to challenge and correct biased outputs. Diverse teams help immensely here. Copyright and intellectual property. This is another massive and frankly still unresolved legal minefield.
Because the AI trains on copyrighted stuff from the web.
Exactly. Billions of pieces of text, images, music, art, often scraped without permission or paying the creators. This creates huge legal uncertainty for the AI developers, but also for marketers using the AI-generated content. Are you infringing copyright by using that AI image or text? The legal landscape is still shaking out. Major lawsuits are ongoing. Brands need to be really careful here.
A big gray area.
A very big one. And finally, transparency and disclosure. People have a right to know if they're talking to an AI or a human, or if the article they're reading was machine-generated. Hiding it feels deceptive and erodes trust quickly. Remember that French art school, Gobelins Paris? They got criticized for using AI visuals without saying so. It undermined their commitment to human creativity.
So best practice is just be upfront.
Yes. Clear labeling of AI content. Transparency about using AI for personalization. Actively communicating your policies builds trust. The source actually provides a useful ethical risk matrix to think about this. For personalized ads, the risk is bias leading to discrimination and brand damage. Mitigation, audits, diverse data, human oversight. For AI content, risk is copyright misinformation leading to legal issues or lost credibility. Mitigation, augment humans, rigorous fact-checking, clear sourcing, disclose AI use. For AI segmentation, risk is privacy violation leading to fines, lost trust. Mitigation, minimize data, get consent, anonymize secure data. For AI visuals, risk is stereotypes' lack of transparency leading to backlash. Mitigation, diverse review teams, clear guidelines, label AI images.
It's clear that proactively managing these ethical risks isn't just compliance, it's becoming a real competitive differentiator. Building that trust is key. So, looking ahead now, crystal ball time. What's next for Gen AI and marketing? What are the big trends shaping the next, say, 5 years that leaders need to watch?
The trajectory definitely points towards deeper integration, much greater autonomy for AI systems, and entirely new kinds of immersive customer experiences that really blur digital and physical lines.
Okay, tell us more. What's first?
We're heading towards hyper-automation. Right now, GenAI automates specific tasks, writing a blog post, making an image. The next step is automating entire end-to-end marketing workflows.
Like the whole process, from
Yeah.
research to execution.
Exactly. Imagine AI systems autonomously doing market research, pouring strategic insights, developing campaign concepts, creating and deploying all the content across channels, and then optimizing it all in real time with minimal human input.
Wow. What does that mean for marketers' roles?
It solidifies that shift we talked about. The marketer becomes the high-level strategist, the creative director overseeing the AI, and the crucial governor ensuring it operates ethically and effectively. Projections suggest by 2030, maybe 30% of all work hours could be automated. That's a profound impact on how organizations are structured and how work gets done.
30%. Okay, what else?
Next, expect truly immersive AI-generated experiences. This is where GenAI meets technologies like AR and VR.
Augmented and virtual reality.
Right. Think beyond today's virtual try-ons. Imagine highly realistic dynamic simulations, customers interacting with photorealistic AI avatars in virtual showrooms designed just for them. These environments would personalize in real time, changing products, scenery, even a story based on the user's actions, and maybe even their detected mood. It blurs the lines between digital and physical, creating incredibly engaging experiences.
Sounds like the metaverse, but powered by truly personalized AI.
In a sense, yes. Much more dynamic and individualized. And finally, a huge leap in predictive analytics and strategic foresight. GenAI's analytical power will mature beyond just interpreting the past. It will get much better at accurately forecasting future events, market shifts, competitor moves, emerging customer needs.
So AI helping with high-level strategy.
Absolutely. AI becomes a central tool for C-suite strategic planning. Already, 65% of execs see predictive analytics as critical for growth in 2025. It starts turning long-range planning from, an art based on gut feeling into more of a precise data-driven science.
Hyperautomation, immersive experiences, predictive strategy. These are truly profound shifts, changing entire businesses. So for the leaders listening, how should they prepare? What are the absolute strategic imperatives right now?
It demands decisive leadership and a clear vision. The number one imperative, I'd argue, is to build an AI-ready culture. The best tech will fail if the culture isn't ready.
What does an AI-ready culture look like?
It starts with governance first. Before you roll out AI widely, establish a cross-functional AI ethics board, legal, marketing, IT, HR, PR, all represented. Their job is to set clear company-wide rules on data privacy, fairness, transparency, responsible use. Proactive governance isn't a roadblock. It's what enables responsible innovation and builds trust.
Okay, governance first. Then what?
Foster experimentation. Create safe spaces for controlled experiments. Start small, focus on high-impact pilots, build expertise, show value early, get buy-in. Learn from failures as much as successes. A culture that experiments adapts faster.
And investing in people, as you said.
Absolutely crucial. Tackle that talent gap head-on. Launch ongoing upskilling and reskilling programs. Focus on AI literacy, prompt engineering, data analysis, and enhancing strategic thinking across the board. Investing in your people is just as critical as investing in the tech.
Makes sense. Culture, governance, people first. What's the second big imperative?
Develop a comprehensive, responsible AI implementation roadmap. You need a structured, phased approach to manage risk and maximize success. Start by defining clear objectives. Every AI project needs to tie directly back to a core business goal, improving customer lifetime value, cutting costs, gaining market share, no tech for tech's sake.
Purpose-driven implementation.
Right. Then audit your data and infrastructure. Know what you have, assess its quality, figure out if your systems are ready. Once you know your foundation, choose the right tools. Start with proven, off-the-shelf tools for quick wins, the low-hanging fruit. Gain experience, show ROI without the complexity of building custom models right away.
Start simple, build from there.
Exactly. Then integrate and test carefully. Deploy in controlled phases.
Yeah.
Audit performance constantly, get your baseline metrics. And finally, scale and optimize. Once a pilot proves successful, scale it up across the organization. but always maintain that rigorous human oversight and those ethical guardrails you established.
So a very methodical, strategic rollout, integrated across the business.
It has to be. It's not just an IT project.
And finally, that core message you've emphasized throughout this deep dive. It's not AI versus humans, but AI and humans working together.
Exactly. That's the ultimate takeaway, I think. The real sustainable competitive advantage won't be the AI itself, that technology will become widespread. The advantage will be the synergy between your talented people and the intelligent machines. Leaders have to resist seeing Gen AI as just a way to replace humans.
Position it as a co-pilot.
A powerful co-pilot, a force multiplier. Use AI for its strengths: scale, speed, automation, pattern recognition. Use your human talent for their unique strengths: strategic judgment, customer empathy, stewarding brand values, and generating those truly disruptive creative ideas and emotional connections.
The future is a partnership.
A profound, symbiotic partnership. The organizations that master that relationship, that delicate balance, they're the ones who will not just survive, but truly thrive and redefine what's possible in marketing and beyond.
Wow, what a deep dive indeed. We've covered so much ground, from the frankly mind-boggling market growth of GenAI in marketing to that fundamental strategic shift from SEO towards GEO. The absolute necessity of building an AI-ready culture with strong governance, and the critical importance of navigating all those ethical considerations carefully. It really does seem clear that the most successful marketers moving forward won't just be tech experts. They'll need to be ethically grounded, strategically sharp, and really masterful at orchestrating the combined strengths of people and AI. So maybe a question for you, listening right now, to think about is, how will you start cultivating that symbiotic relationship in your own work, in your organization?
That really is the key question for all of us to consider as we navigate this incredibly dynamic landscape. And in this deep dive, it's truly just the beginning of understanding this ongoing transformation. We really encourage you to keep learning, keep asking questions, keep thinking critically as generative AI continues to reshape not just marketing, but entire industries around the globe.